Hey everyone, are you ready to connect consciously to manage your emotions and your life? Welcome to Connected Life. I'm Air Mays. Listen to my journey of overcoming both emotional pain and the accompanying physical pain and reconnecting to myself and the universe. Discover how emotional intelligence can transform your relationships and help you conquer chronic pain. Emotions cause both mental pain and physical pain and are often deeply connected to one another. Gain understanding into how all parts of our minds and our bodies are universally connected to one universal source. Through personal experience, powerful insights, and practical tools, we'll explore healing, connection, and the path to creating a life that you love, intentionally, authentically, and deeply. If you have questions, please click the description and send me a text via fan mail, and I will answer as many as I can in the next episode. Find me on YouTube at My Connected Life. Thank you for listening. Now let's get connected. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 109. This is Anthony, and today I want to talk about manifestation and the law of attraction, separation and connection, and how emotional intelligence connects all of them together. So, emotional intelligence will allow you to manage your thinking, manage your emotions, understand why you're thinking and feeling what you're thinking and feeling, and also understand why you act, react, and behave the way you do around others. So depending on what people say and do, you could potentially be triggered, right? Someone might say something or do something that upsets you. So part of the emotional intelligence piece for ourselves would be, I'm managing my emotions to the extent that when people say something or people do something, I don't take it personally. I don't react negatively. And I learn how to respond in a way that's more in a giving, more in a loving, more in a clear communication manner that's open, authentic, and honest. So if you look back over the last, at this point, almost 5 years, COVID was one of those things that pushed us into separation, right? We couldn't go out. If we did go out, we had to wear a mask. So you couldn't see people's faces. All you could see was their eyes. You couldn't tell if people were smiling, angry. It was just like a cold world, right? Walking around like zombies. That was separation. And there are plenty of studies, plenty of news articles, a lot of stuff in the media that says COVID was not real, COVID was created, and we're not here to talk about that. If it was created for a reason by someone, and we don't know what that reason might be. But I will say that separation got us on a path, number one, to reconnection with ourselves, which many people did, right? If you were home and you were alone and you didn't know what to do, you didn't know where to go, you weren't talking to anyone, it caused a lot of us to look within. So we started reading books, we started listening to podcasts, we started meditating, we started thinking about our feelings, we started feeling things. And now, of course, we have the other half of the population, or the other part of the population, I should say, that probably did not do that. They distracted, so they stayed on social media all day and all night, or they played video games, or they smoked weed, or they drank alcohol, or they watched tons of things on TV, or they ate all kinds of food and sugar, or they had sex, or they watched porn, or they did any combination of all of those things just so that they would not have to think about what they're thinking about and feel what they're feeling about. So if you were in the position where you reconnected with yourself because you really had nothing else to do, and you had time to think about what you're thinking about and what you're feeling about, then we could say that COVID kind of pushed you into that, right? COVID got you more in alignment with yourself, more in a reconnection with yourself. And if you're one of those people that distracted yourself so that you didn't have to think about what you're thinking about, and you didn't feel what you were feeling because you were drinking or smoking or eating or shopping or video gaming or scrolling or whatever it was, then you were disconnected, and you may have been disconnected before COVID, or maybe you disconnected once COVID hit. But now is the time for reconnection. And for those that did go through some type of reconnection through self-awareness, meditation, your opportunity is to go into even a deeper connection, not only with yourself, but now with other people. I know for me personally, I did a lot of meditating, self-help, self-development, reading, audiobooks, podcasts, and I basically went through a whole lot of changes in that last 5-year period that really got me into looking at why I'm thinking what I'm thinking, why am I feeling what I'm feeling, why do I eat this way, why do I want to drink, why do I want to smoke, why do I want to shop, why do I want to have sex or watch porn. And I basically cleaned up a whole lot of that. And for the things that I didn't clean up or get rid of, it's because I chose to keep them in my life for whatever reason. So for example, drinking alcohol, I stopped drinking alcohol, and then I decided alcohol is fine socially and not so much just drinking at home alone. Eating, I started eating only meat, tried the carnivore diet, did that for 6 months, I believe, lost 30 pounds, and that felt great. And then I decided, okay, well, I'm going to add some things back in. So a few carbs here, simple things like fruit, a few veggies, and then stuff like yogurt or things that I really wanted to add back into my life because only eating meat was a little boring. So for me, it was a combination of connecting with myself, fighting my demons, finding out what happened in my childhood and why it caused me to be the way that I am in adulthood. But it also led me to having compassion for myself, understanding for myself, not being guilty, not feeling judgment around the things that I've done or the ways that I was thinking or the ways that I was feeling, and getting more in alignment with being okay with who I am, being okay with what I am, and being okay with who I am in the world, and knowing that all of that is okay. So if you're in that position where you reconnected with yourself and you understand yourself, I'm wondering if you also are going through a point where you're getting out more with other people. Are you reconnecting with other people? Are you understanding other people? Are you giving to other people? A lot of people are looking for relationships. They're looking for good health. They're looking for wealth. They're looking for a certain career. So all of that starts to come together when you have a good balance of self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Understanding yourself, of course, is number one. That comes first. But then once you understand yourself, you understand other people and you understand the world. Once I stopped judging myself and feeling guilty, it was very easy for me to have compassion for other people, understanding what they could have gone through, understanding their journey, and looking at mine and saying, wow, there were a lot of times that I was mean. There were a lot of times that I was sad. There were a lot of times that I was lonely. And not beating myself up and calling myself a loser because I was lonely. So stopping all of that guilt, stopping all of that judgment, and understanding why I had it and why I felt the way that I felt, of course, leads me to have compassion for others. I have no idea what other people's lives have been like, what their past has been like, if they're driving slow in front of me, if they pull out in front of me and I have to stop or slow down, if they call me something on social media. I think the funniest one is I tend to make videos on YouTube, and if I hold the camera directly in front of my face, you can't see my ears. My ears are that close to my head that it literally looks like I don't have ears. So how many people have commented, bro, where are your ears? Or something like, bro ain't got no ears. Initially, I thought, okay, I'm a little upset because I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to teach people something. I'm trying to get people to the next level in life, like I feel like I've done. And you're bringing up some bullshit that has no relevance. But then as I looked at it, I thought, okay, they're touching on something. They're making me feel judgmental about myself. That could be touching on I'm not good enough. And I finally got to the point where I thought, okay, so what's really important here? What's really relevant here? Me delivering the message that I think I need to deliver and that people want to hear, or me thinking about comments that people make that have nothing to do with the learning or the teaching, which tells me a lot about where they are in their mindset, where they are in this world. And suddenly it didn't matter anymore. So now I make videos and I joke with the people if they leave comments like that. But I also feel like as soon as I stopped making it a big deal, those comments stopped happening. So when it comes to wanting health and wanting wealth and wanting a great partner and a great relationship, maybe you want marriage, maybe you want children, think about what you're thinking about. Understand yourself and then understand your partner. Understand other people, your friends, your coworkers, your business partners, and the world. And once you understand that overall and you learn how to navigate and how to manage what you're thinking and feeling, that's when you start to see more things manifest in your life. More of the things you want start to come into alignment. Your mind is clear, your mind is focused, and then the things that you want start to appear because you're not always thinking about the things that you don't want. So what was happening for me was if I was sad, I only thought about sadness. Why am I sad? It must be because of this. Maybe I'm not making enough money. Maybe it's because I'm not dating. Maybe it's because I don't live in this particular house. Maybe it's because I'm not this particular weight or I don't have this particular body. Or maybe it was loneliness. Why am I lonely? Maybe I'm lonely because I can't lose 20 pounds. Maybe I'm lonely because I'm not funny enough. Maybe people don't like my attitude. So all of those negative feelings, you're thinking about all the negative things, at least I was, that keeps your focus off of the things that you really want. Why am I not getting the house that I want? Instead of focusing on, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? What do I love about myself? What do I love about my job? What do I love about the neighborhood that I live in? What do I love about my health? What do I love about my friends and family? Who supports me? Who can I help? Who am I taking care of? Who am I loving and who is loving me? And how am I keeping friendships, relationships, and circles like that in my life versus who am I talking about? Who am I judging? Who are the people that I'm hanging out with, gossiping about? So I think one of the main problems that we see with law of attraction and manifestation is people think that I want something, I think about it, I imagine having it, and I try to feel good and I should get it. And on the other hand, they're really talking poorly about themselves and the people and the situations around them. So if I want to manifest a job making $500,000, or if I want to start a company making $1 million, but I go to sleep every night and I'm thinking, I'm really not smart enough. I'm really in horrible shape. I really don't have a good diet or a health plan. I really hate this person that I work with. My boss is a piece of shit. I hate this neighborhood. My neighbors are noisy. Do you see how all of that negative energy just completely wipes out all of the things that you want, all of the things that you desire, all of the things that you think about are focused on negative things, negative aspects of people, judgment, guilt, shame. So one of the things that I talk about in the emotional intelligence courses and learning is how to get your emotions in check, how to understand why you're thinking what you're thinking, why you're feeling what you're feeling. It could be childhood, something your parents did, or your caregivers, or your teachers, or your friends, or other relatives. It could be early relationships in your teens, or it could be a combination, right? It could be your parents, it could have been your teachers, and it could have been relationships in early adulthood that kept giving you the same message over and over. If you had parents that thought you weren't good enough, and you thought you weren't good enough, and then you had teachers that told you you weren't good enough, and then you got in a relationship and someone told you you weren't good enough, or they broke up with you and you just simply thought you weren't good enough, that's a lot of negative thinking. That's a lot of negative energy. Do you have a valid reason for thinking and feeling that way? Absolutely. Yes, you do. Is that potentially blocking you from manifestation and law of attraction and getting the things that you really want out of life and feeling happy and feeling joy and feeling loved and connection? Absolutely. So it's a balance of feeling good, understanding, compassion, and then mixing that with, what do I want? What do I want to do with my life? What are the things that I want? And who is it that I want to be? How do I want to live my life? Do I want to be joyful? Do I want to be someone that's giving? Do I want to be someone that teaches? How am I going to serve my friends, my family, and myself? Versus, what can I get from my friends? What can I get from my family? What can I get from my boss? What can I get from the company I work for? What can I get from the people in my neighborhood? What can I get leaves you in the energy of what can I get? And you're always trying to get it. Whereas, what can I give leaves you in a space of giving. You're constantly giving. How can I give love? How can I give compassion? How can I give help or assistance? And then the universe is giving to you. How can we give this person the house they want? How can we give this person the job or the career or the marriage or the relationship or the child or the body or the health? There are many, many studies that show us and tell us that emotions lead to physical issues, physical pain. Dis-ease in the mind leads to disease in the body. So that should be a very easy thing to get your head around. If I'm thinking poorly and my health is poor, I should understand that there's a connection, there's a correlation, and that the two are related. And you clean up your thinking and your emotions, clean up your attitude. In many cases, you clean up your health. You start to feel better. There are people that have worked through things that are considered uncurable or incurable because they cleaned up a lot of the emotional baggage, a lot of the sad thinking, a lot of the lonely thinking, a lot of the I'm not good enough, I'm never going to win, I'm never going to be healthy. If you're in that mindset, you're most likely going to stay in that mindset and you're going to manifest the things that prove to you that that mindset is accurate. So to wrap all of this up, COVID was something that separated us. We either went through connecting with ourselves or distracting. Now that it's been 4 or 5 years, we're looking at reconnecting. And if we did reconnect with ourselves during COVID, we're looking at deeper connections and also connections with others. Instead of having 25 friends that we always say, hey, how you doing? And we really don't care. We might only have 3 friends. And when we say, hey, how are you doing? We really want to know. We really want to hear. We really want to listen. And we really want to help. And when we say to someone, we're feeling sad, we're feeling lonely, we're feeling angry, we know that those people are going to be there for us. And they're going to say, tell me more about it. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Where do you think that comes from? I will tell you that in many cases, if you simply talk to someone and that person listens, just the fact that you verbalized it removes it from your body. So you don't want to get into a position where you're just keeping everything inside. I'm sad, I'm lonely, I'm angry, but I don't want to tell anyone about it. Or I don't think there's anyone that I can talk about it with. There has to be someone. There has to be someone that you love, someone that you really like, someone that you trust, someone that you feel is honest. And all you can say or need to say is, hey, can you just listen to me? I just want to get this off my chest, off my mind, out of my body, because the energy of it is pulling me down. And just let them sit there and say, I'm sad because of this. I'm angry because of this. I feel lonely because of this. And if you feel like you want answers or you want advice or you want suggestions, you can ask for it. But other than that, simply getting it out and admitting it and being okay with it because it's part of the human experience, that will help you feel better. So we want to continue to do that so that we're not keeping things inside, because repressed emotions are not good. We want to get it out there, but we also want to make sure that we're in a space where the person listening is safe, the person listening is comforting, and the person listening is compassionate, supportive, and helpful. So with that, connecting and reconnecting to others and clearing up negative emotions, you can start to look out into the future and say, okay, now I have better reactions. I have better responses. I feel better about myself. I'm not judging myself. I'm not criticizing myself. I'm not guilty. I don't feel shame. And then you'll notice more happening for you versus against you. Better job opportunities, more money in the job, more promotions, houses, cars, better health, better fitness, better mindset, better overall well-being. And it kind of makes sense, right? If your mind is clear, your body starts to feel better and you start to act better. You want to go out more, you're happy, you're excited, and all of those types of feelings, serotonin, oxytocin, help you reach newer levels when it comes to law of attraction and manifestation. So one of the biggest issues with not getting what we want out of life is because we're filled with negative energy, not only about others, but also about ourselves. So if you have questions, please send a text message to the show by looking in the description for fan mail. And if you want more information in video format, check out my YouTube channel, Connected Life. Thank you for listening. And if you think this will be beneficial, please share, please download, and please mention Connected Life. I'll talk to you soon. Well, that's our show for today. I truly hope you enjoyed and gained some personal knowledge. Please download, like, and share if you believe someone may benefit from today's show. Again, please send me a text message with any questions about connection, emotions, chronic pain, and how the three are related by clicking fan mail in the show description. Video footage is available on YouTube at My Connected Life. Thank you for listening, and let's connect again in a few days.